She sold over 200 million records. She performed for presidents, for royalty, and in stadiums where the crowd disappeared at the edges. Yet, no amount of fame could prepare her for what came next, her own body turning against her. This is a story not just of a singer, but of a woman who survived every test life could throw. Poverty, public humiliation, devastating loss, and a rare disease so severe it affects only 1 in a million people. Most know the voice. Almost no one knows the price behind it. Born into survival on March 30th, 1968 in the small town of Charlemagne, Quebec, Céline and Admar Dion welcomed their 14th child into a house already bursting at its seams. 14 children, 1 modest salary, and a kitchen that barely stretched to feed everyone. Winter arrived with particular cruelty, and weeks passed when cupboards were nearly empty. Céline fed her children first, often going hungry herself. Poverty defined the walls of the house, but music filled every corner. Songs were not just entertainment, they were the lifeblood of a family that leaned on rhythm and harmony to survive. Music at the kitchen table. Admar played accordion, Céline sang, and older siblings harmonized, composed, and celebrated together. Music was the family language, carrying both joy and sorrow. By the age of 5, she had climbed onto the kitchen table and sung for her family with a certainty that silenced the room. Her parents shared a look that silently acknowledged something extraordinary. This child's voice was not just talent, it was rare, unnameable, and powerful. By 12, she began channeling this force deliberately, unaware that her journey would soon extend far beyond the modest walls of Charlemagne. The first big step. It was Therese, her sister, who sent a homemade demo tape and handwritten song called Senate Carve. It was only a dream to René Angelil, a respected Quebec music manager. He had discarded hundreds of demos before, but pressed play again and again on this one. When he arrived at their modest living room expecting a polished young performer, he found a thin 12-year-old girl with dark, serious eyes. She sang as if the room were an arena. René wept, overwhelmed by a voice that moved him before he could even decide to manage her. He signed her immediately. A leap of faith, René Angelil mortgaged his own house to finance her first album. Not a loan, not an advance, but his personal security and belief in her potential. His commitment was absolute. It changed both their lives forever. She quickly found an audience in Quebec, her French-language album striking chords with both the public and critics. She was young, earnest, and extraordinary. Fame arrived quickly, but remained local. René had a clear vision. He would close the gap between Quebec and the world, carefully preparing her for a future stage that was international in scope. Transformation for a global stage, René's plan was surgical. He focused not on her talent, which was undeniable, but on her presentation. Dental work, styling, language lessons, all were carefully designed to create a public identity while preserving her authentic self. She embraced this transformation with discipline, having learned early that nothing comes without effort. She understood the difference between being manufactured and being prepared. Years later, she would say, "René believed in me before I believed in myself. Everything I became because someone first decided I was worth the risk." Love amid controversy. As she moved into adulthood, her relationship with René shifted quietly from professional to deeply personal. The public, however, was unkind. Headlines in Quebec and Canada focused on the age gap, speculating about influence and consent. She did not flinch. She defended not just her love, but her right to make choices as a woman. Her voice, both literal and metaphorical, remained unbroken. Love, which the world tried to vilify, became a testament to her courage and resilience. She learned that being visible does not guarantee understanding, and that defending your heart is its own kind of performance. Triumph and heartbreak. Her career skyrocketed internationally. Stadiums, television specials, and historic performances showcased a voice that touched millions. But while the public celebrated, her private life carried immense weight. She watched her husband, the man who had been her anchor for decades, deteriorate and die slowly. She held his hand, shouldered grief, and carried forward while the world remained unaware of the toll. Loss after loss, she stood on stage, a figure of invincibility, though every note she sang was shaped by unseen pain. A body betrayed. Just when she had survived everything else, her body began to fail. She was diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, a rare neurological disorder affecting 1 in a million. It attacks the very muscles needed to stand, to perform, to live freely. There is no cure. She navigates daily challenges with a team of doctors, each movement measured and intentional. Rehabilitation is constant, yet she continues. Fame could not prepare her for this, but it could not break her either. Strength and fragility coexist, and she demonstrates both with every careful step. Family and continuity. Her children, Nelson and Eddie, grow up witnessing not a celebrity, but a mother whose courage is quiet, steadfast, and visible in ordinary moments. René Charles, now a young man, carries a steadiness learned from a family that adapted to survive. These relationships, forged in love and resilience, are her daily reality. They are the reward for decades of sacrifice and determination. Life may have tested her beyond imagination, but her story is also one of continuity, teaching the next generation what it means to endure and still be present. Singing beyond the voice. She has expressed a desire to perform again, not as a triumph over disease, but as an affirmation of connection. The voice is a vehicle. The music is the bridge between human hearts. Every performance, whether on a grand stage or in quiet rooms, is a reminder that no one is truly alone in grief, joy, or longing. Her life has shown that being broken does not erase beauty, that fragility can coexist with immense strength. The world knows her voice, but those closest to her know the courage behind it, the humanity behind the legend. A legacy of humanity, the girl from Charlemagne who shared beds, stretched meals, and sang before there was enough understood life through music long before fame arrived. Her story is not merely about records sold or awards won. It is about connection, resilience, and the courage to remain present despite unimaginable odds. Some voices are not given to entertain. Some voices are given to remind us what it means to be human. Hers is one of those voices, and despite every challenge, she remains here, singing, teaching, and embodying